he reckons 50-50 after sort of the draft has finished up. Not necessarily the level of confidence maybe you normally expect from the coach in their own draft. Do you think that's understandable? Do you think maybe the brood mother kind of caught them off guard and could have a lot of potential here with Kingslayer playing at this game?
Definitely perhaps a little bit, and also I think yesterday maybe put them a bit in like that place where that third game in particular, first and third game in particular, were pretty rough. They couldn't really do much of anything, so humble, of course, to be, and good to do that as well too, because this is definitely a fast-paced draft, I would say, from Aurora, looking to pressure and kind of take advantage early. However, from XGWBG, this is a pretty phenomenal scaling lineup, and they do have pretty decent high ground defense as long as like the ET and the puck can be remaining to be able to get that spam out and stuff like that. So let's see how it all ends up going down, because there's a lot of really fun stuff kind of to talk about here. Huge Wombo combo, big really team fights coming out, of course, from XGWBG, but then on Aurora, they have like a little bit of ease just to force the fights a bit in the early game with the Primal Split, so should be fun, should be a treat here. And already seeing some early aggressive wards just placed out here from the side of XGWBG to be watching some of these stacks and whatnot that comes up from these storms. And let's see how these lanes do end up going down. Jinq getting to play that Monkey King. How many couriers will die?
Let's see XXS try and start the fight off here, standing his ground with the Iron Shell upon him. Jump forward from Jinq's looking for Kingslayer, but
nice jukes.
Not going to be able to do anything about the Brood quite yet. So it's going to be perfectly fine. So this sort of bottom lane, this is a lane in which is the Brood. Could the Brood be a bit vulnerable on the early levels?
No, not with the CM. I wouldn't think so. I would imagine that he should be pretty fine. Jinq might just do some annoying stuff though, like stealing, like killing couriers constantly, just being really, really pesky. But overall, I would say Kingslayer and Ollie should have a pretty good time as long as they don't make some big mistakes. Level 3, of course, that thing to watch out for the ion shells. But from what I've seen, these Broods can just withstand because of that. If you want to get the Insatiable early, they cut the tree. Jinq does get the tree cut immediately. He's going to
take quite a hit on the way out here. I mean, blood grenade thrown down. They might just get him.
He could just reset. He's all right.
He's able to get around the tree line in time. Go back towards the creek, but indeed, he has to be a bit careful about that. They're prepared for the Monkey King down here, Aurora.
Absolutely. Yeah, one more tree cut in will definitely die. And as those levels build up, there's definitely always kill threat down here from the Brood and the Crystal Maiden. Looking at mid, nice skill matchup, you know, it's going to trade farm. That's going to be between these two. We're going to see those early rotations definitely come into play from these, I mean, potentially 2 to 3 supports. Jinq absolutely can match every single one of the rotations of the CM plus the snap. And it looks like Aurora may be taking a page out of the Falcons book a bit, because that is the 2 supports that they also wanted to go for, that extra disable that they can provide at times. So some really good ones to be able to rotate early.
So looking at, I was just having to look up at some of the Kingslayer stats on his Brood.
Sure.
So if the stats to be believed, it indeed looks like he hasn't played any pro games on it. So this should be his first. The pub win rate, pretty good. 44 games, a 63% win rate, which is, yeah, that is not bad by any means. Top lane.
He's going down.
Yep, first blood, Japs, able to take him out. So I think every reason to believe from the stats that Kingslayer should be able to give us quite a solid Brood performance here. Yeah,
and overall Brood, and in pubs especially, like this hero's a bit weird because sometimes it gets stuck as this like first pick, so it gets super counterpicked in a lot of these drafts and stuff. So that's a pretty good win rate.
It's a good win rate. Yeah, it really is.
And looking at a couple other things, so top we see this very aggressive lane that Aurora's gone for. It is an ET morphling. The morph, of course, is quite a weak laner at the start here. The ET definitely going to struggle because these 2 heroes are also incredible versus because they both provide attack speed slow and movement speed slow, which is what you want when you're playing versus this ET right now in the laning phase, since if you move speed slow, it slows his attack speed as well. So some cool stuff. Q did go for the Ricochet, which I think when I see Crit playing the Snapfire in particular when he's playing versus Morph, he usually goes the full bore because you have that like range to try to snipe. Kills. So just small thing to point out, but this overall is the facet that most people are preferring. Either way, should be a difficult lane for Ame up top.
Looking like it, but just 6 CS so far, having the rougher time out of all the cores. He's going to be able to hold this wave.
He'll get 3 CS.
Be able to get the push back in.
Yeah. And let's see bottom. XXS, he has hit level 3. So let's see if they're able to push that small advantage he has right now onto Kingslayer, since he's gone for this quad bracer build. And it looks like he might take the same page out of 33's book I saw last night. 33 did quad gauntlet, which is standard, with this quick wit, of course, facet, and then he went treads into pipe, which honestly was incredible. It felt like it hit all the timings, it protected his team versus early team fight, and he was very aggressive in lane because he's just punching the enemy core.
Sure. This, of course, is a brilliant game for pipe.
It is.
It's going to do a whole lot against Aurora's sort of early aggression and damage output pretty much pretty much entirely magical outside of what Lil Shredder and the Brood. I guess a few right clicks of the primals, but yeah, most of the burst it's going to be magical.
Pipe is definitely one of the top items in this patch at the moment. It feels incredible, especially with Rise of Sanking in the mid too. It just feels absolutely necessary. Ollie. Level 3, Jinkyu only level 1 at the moment. Those have to be a little careful, even though he has level 2 Ion Shell on himself.
I mean, that is true. I mean, Ollie's going to run him down a little bit. He's not too afraid of this level 1 Monkey King.
This is a standard Jinkyu. I'm surprised he hasn't actually started going for some of these couriers and stuff like that. We usually see him do that on the Monkey, but so far, a little bit of a calm early start here
bottom. I might get this courier, yeah, he will.
Go.
So, there we go.
Not careful. That's entirely Kingslayer's fault.
So to be more careful next time after that's happened the once here.
It always happens. At least once in the laning phase, you know, these carry players never careful with their courier. We blame the carries always.
Let's see if there's going to be a chance to go on to Kingslayer, but even with the level 2 on the Monkey King, it could be difficult.
Yeah.
Pretty tanky here with his double bracer out.
They're pinging. They're considering going now. Kingslayer stepped up. Level 4's hit on the Darkseer.
He's going to be able to lifesteal up a little bit, and he has got Ollie coming over to help out. The Boundless strike down. Kingslayer continues to stand his ground, and indeed they'll be able to take Jinkyu out. And Kingslayer played that perfectly there around the lifesteal, knew that he couldn't just run, had to sort of get some hits traded back to survive off the lifesteal, and he survived.
That was pretty much like both teams trying to capitalize on a level 4, well, Darkseer trying to capitalize on level 4 time with Vacuum, and Brood hit forward literally as they went on him, so he got the point in Insatiable Hunger, because he was 0-2-1 skill build, so ideal timing for Kingslayer, and he should be able to heal up to full, of course, with his innate now. That Spider is milk under the tower. He's back up to near full HP. Waiting to see the items queued up. I imagine it would be that Orchid since they're playing versus the Puck. We've seen that a couple times now in this Brood, so yeah, it's pretty much instantly queued up. A very good game for it versus both Chorus, to be honest. Morph and Puck.
Yeah,
it's gonna be pretty awesome.
I wonder then, are we going to see the double Orchid? Do you think the Storm's also going to go Orchid first, or is he going to need to build something defensive?
Q. They're scared to commit onto him, and for good reason.
I mean, there's a damage that these three can fire back is an incredible amount. XXS has to completely retreat. He's out with the TP.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame Lornoff if he does go for it too, just because it's so good versus both cores. Yeah, sure, they're going to probably itemize versus, like, with the Yules and a Manta, obviously on the Morphling, but that does force them to go for at least that Yules on the Puck, which sometimes isn't really the most favorable for some of these players. So yeah, could definitely see that double Orchid come into play pretty early on. Jabs is going to have super fast timing on this Vessel as well, versus a Morphling, versus a Darkseer. So timings, definitely for Aurora, are going to be accelerated, at least with these 2 kills at the moment here. But Ame is farming pretty okay up here. 33-7.
He is
not been shut down.
Yeah, considering how the first few waves were looking. He's ended up perfectly fine in the overall state of the safe lane.
Yeah, and now we have like a little bit of lane swappage and people stacking around. Lanes breaking a little bit, making sure they can get these Wisdom runes. But 23, or whatever, Kingslayer, that does mean he's going to have a very, very good timing on level 6 and could potentially make moves top as well, using those Spiderlings to perhaps try to pressure the Morph and get that Orchid timing very early.
See the outcome of the mid matchup there. Very, very even this game.
Very even.
Between the two of them, Lornoff and XTREME.
I'm seeing these Pucks they abuse this innate so nicely. The Puckish, whatever you want, yeah. It feels super nice when you're able to just double abuse. Like, I think a tower hit hits you, and then the second one, you pop the face shift, so you get double benefit out of the regen that comes out. I'm seeing more and more players abuse it. That's quite fun. It's a lot of healing. Surrounding down bottom, level 5 on Darkseer. So level 3 Ion Shell that they're looking to play around here with the 2 supports. Even rotating the Puck and Ame. The whole squad has arrived.
Another Ame's here. Ollie's going to find him.
Jabs has split.
I mean, Ollie might be the one to die, but indeed backup comes in. Ollie will fall. So what they want to do with this? They've been caught by the Dream Core, the two of them, but the split is out. Kingslayer still alive. He's holding his ground with a lifesteal. He has to back up with Lornoff. Lornoff comes in with the zip. He's able to take DY down. Got the stun connection onto XXS. Surges back up, but it's immediately taken off. Indeed, nice. Jabs ready for that one. They're going to be able to clean up both of them.
Ambitious dive, I would say, from XGWBG, but an instant TP from Jabs is necessary. The Bruce Blade pretty much used perfectly. That's his Vessel finished up. Super fast to react. Kingslayer able to just withstand versus the damage with the lifesteal.
Yeah, I mean, a few times now they've really tried to put the focus on taking this Brood down in the early game, but Kingslayer, he's been prepared.
Yeah, the team just prepared to rotate really quickly too. Even Lornoff, as you were saying, you know, jumps down bottom. He is able to secure an extra bit of a kill there. All 3 cores looking strong. levels as well, and the supports looking pretty decent. Level 4 on both of them. Same to be said for XGWBG. They're making the move again. Primal split on cooldown. This time they want to try to get him.
They really want this spider. But the boundless into the primal spring, this time they should have it.
And Ame gets the last hit, so all important. Accelerate that timing for the Manta as much as possible, because those Orchids and, you know, the Spirit Vessel and stuff are going to be online, so get him some nice early kills. So good move. Really pushing forward. They know no split, no support ultis either, so they can dive forward for that kill.
As we can see here, the record on his morph, not been too amazing, but no reason to not believe that he can do it. Of course, as overall outside this tournament, definitely one of Ame's most played heroes. I mean, you can see it there on the top. Grandmaster tier, of course, on the Morphling.
Yeah, and we, of course, have to start talking about some of these matchups. I know Panel was talking about especially, and we do see it a bit, that Morph versus Broodmother. If the game slows down a lot, Brood is able to get even Shard, or Morph gets Shard, and they just gets this insatiable hunger. The damage is ridiculous on a Morphling. It's essentially a double damage inside most of these fights when he turns into Brood and pops it. So for Aurora, definitely want to keep getting an advantage and pressing forward that advantage. Don't want to slow down too much versus Ame's Morphling. It's a very strong scaling draft that XGWBG has gone for, especially with the ET able to amp everybody as it goes on. Lorinov, find the top rune, haste rune. He's getting closer and closer toward that Orchid.
I think until sort of that's there, unlikely that we'll see Aurora really go for any plays on XGWBG's side of the map.
Maybe play around like a primal split or something to pressure perhaps the mid tower, depending on if they see an opportunity, but yeah, definitely difficult to catch some of these other heroes if they don't have it.
Yeah, I think they're happy to sort of just play reactive. Wait and see what XGWBG do, and then make sure that they have these ults ready to turn up and defend. Mid tower starting to get pressured a little bit by XM. Q just sticking around to find his level 6 on the snap.
Yeah, and XXS is doing the exact build. Yep, it's strength, Tride's Soul Ring straight into that pipe to be able to have that early timing.
Yeah, that's definitely going to affect Aurora's impact quite a bit, if he's indeed allowed to sit back and farm, which I think by the way that Aurora's playing definitely seems to be the case. Yeah. I don't think we're going to see any sort of pressure on the darks here, so the pipe will be there in good time.
They will, and that could counteract and protect these guys, you know, versus that Orchid, those Orchids that are going to be coming up pretty early on too, just that extra bit of defensive capability. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if they can sort of get the Sora online and then sort of hold through the mid game, it's reason to believe. I mean, it seems to be there's also the way that they've played with other strategies that they've drafted with XGWBG, where they just want to kind of keep the game going until the point where Ame's able to carry them to victory.
Yeah, let's be honest, right? Both of these teams, they are some of the slower ones. At least they like to play for the late game. So
I think so. And then just sort of the question is going to be like how do Aurora's core sort of step up to that of XGWBG, and if it does sort of, as the game goes on, go into some sort of like 4 protect 1 with Ame getting ahead and the other cores falling behind, how strong is the Morph's chance to win this game?
Definitely strong. Especially, I think Morph is one of the conditions that I would say for 4 Protect 1 that can work in a lot. Yeah, I think, you know, I already talk, I'm a hater for TB, so I don't need to say it anymore. But I think also because he has Elder Titan, it's like an amplify. You want these things that amplify your carry a ton in the later stages as well, too. So yeah, definitely feels like if it does get too slow, could be Shimizu's for Aurora. But Aurora's waiting for that timing right now, right? Sure. Once they've got double Orchid,
then they're going to go.
Then they're probably going to look to put that pressure on, take some more of these towers, and occupy the map a little more. I'm waiting to see what Jabs queues up as well too. It could just end up being the Radiance.
I feel like it's not going to be because of the way they want to play. Like, do they want to buy Radiance and also slow things down? Like, it's the safer build, it's the more common build, but we are seeing some Brew stray away from it, and especially when they want to try and play fast.
Yeah.
So I think Jabs is definitely considering, indeed, like, does he want to just stick to the cookie cutter build of the Radiance, or does he want to buy something that's going to enable the team to get ahead and kind of get the game rolling?
I guess, well, yeah, I'm going to see, because I already know that Q, we've seen these Snapfires, they just go for the mech in most of these situations, so yeah, I'm waiting to see what Jabs is going to fully queue up, if it will be like a pipe, or if it's just going to be the Radiance to get that scaling. We shall see. The game slowed down quite a bit here, 4-2, but there's that first Orchid timing. So I imagine instant smoke, try to find either more for Puck, start getting a bit more going for yourself. XM under the protection of this ward for another 7 seconds or so. Yeah, strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen, because it does feel like this one could be a farming one.
For sure, especially if it goes XGWBG's way. Lorinov wants to do something. He's going to be able to find the Morph, but indeed the strength has already been built up and used a lot of mana for that, and the Dream Core's laid down.
Perfectly done.
He's gone. They will lose DY in return, but still, the XGWBG, they do not mind. Any sort of trade that's even, and any sort of trade where they're taking a call and losing a support, is good news for them.
They were super prepared for this move. Everybody was just there protecting the Morphling. Ame was shifting back and forth between Agi and Strength, catches it pretty much perfectly. And now, Manta's done. So first Orchid hit not working, he's going to have a Dispel. Second Orchid is online, but XGWG was super prepared.
Yeah, it's just the fact that both of these Orchids are kind of coming out, I should say, like, A, when this Manta is finished on Morph, and B, pretty much when the pipe's going to be done. They're very close to having out. Xingqiu, he'll die. Was trying to see if he could mess around with the Wisdom Rune. Wasn't to be the case. All he was able to secure it for himself. But yeah, the question is, if these Orchids, have these Orchid timings come quick enough, and what can Aurora do with them?
Exactly. And see how much Jabs can force with these Primal Splits, and if he's going to be that, you know, king of team fight when he shows up, Primal Split that XGWG has to run away, because so far they're getting a lot of farm. Puck, Morph, all 3 cores, getting that itemization. The Witchblade's done on XM, he can go back for the Yules. And yeah, overall, Ame, you can see the positioning that he's playing on the far right with the Manta at the ready, just in case any move does come, so. DY also, do have to highlight, bit of a different type of skill build, but I like that he's gone for this one, because he's going to be playing more about that counter initiation. So 3 points in the stomp to be able to set up for his allies to get the follow-up versus the Storm, versus the Brood, versus the Primal. This stomp build is actually quite nice when you're playing versus Brew, because you know, you sit in the bat, Brew splits, and you just stomp at least 3 of those Brewlings, and then you're able to reset constantly, so. This does feel like XGWBG pretty happy with this
I think so. You know, looking at Jabs, he has indeed, he's going for the Radiant.
He is going to go for it, right?
He's just sort of stuck in a tough position. It's like, sure, maybe he can get something to fight with the team, but Aurora, they're going to be feeling, yeah, we've got these Orchids, but there's a Manta, there's a Pike. They're XGWBG, they're set up for these fights, so what do? I guess we keep farming and sort of just hope for the best. That seems to sort of be the plan here from Aurora, which does definitely feel like it favors XGWBG's approach to the game.
Agreed. A pipe finished up now. XGWG, they have pretty much all their key timings that they want here in the early game. They've got that Manta to protect the Morph. They've got good team fight synergy with this Darkseer, and looking to find something themselves. Still, you know, the Primal Split is still a bit of an issue in some situations here, but they can kite it, they can reset, and they can tank through it. Especially with XXS just having so many levels. The levels on the cores are just incredibly high. XM's level 12, level 11 on Darkseer, 12 on the Morph. Level 10 on a couple of these cores on the side of Aurora. And Xingqiu, even though it's been a bit quiet from him, he is progressing slowly but surely toward this Orchid as well, which is going to be phenomenal versus the Storm if he gets it pre-BKB. This is gonna end up being some type of like late game, mid game / late game clashes, and we'll see.
It's because
if Aurora can withstand those.
Yes, because I imagine for Aurora, the next step's going to be let's get the BKBs, and then we'll really try to fight.
Yes,
like it's not going to be get the BKBs and keep hitting creeps, because it's just not going to feel good against XWBG's lineup. So BKBs, they get those on Lorinoff and Kingslayer. And then they're going to be looking to fight. They're going to be looking for action.
Yeah, or force a Roshan or something like that, where it forces them to go for a fight or something like that, and you can go for it. But shall see. Tower's getting pressured here from the Spiders. Should get finished off. Kingslayer will be able to get that. And his BKB will come pretty quick. So a double BKB timing and Radiance, and then I imagine it'll be go time. Jabs. Put your relic in your bags. So there we go. Thank you, Jabs. We're gonna have to watch him hit creeps for a while.
Oh, mate, it's gonna go straight for the Daedalus after the Manta.
I think this. I prefer this one a lot more over that, like the Honda, because you just don't have points in adaptive, as I was mentioning yesterday. So, ton of damage that he can do.
Yeah, and I imagine against the Brood, right? It's pretty easy always to find him and turn into him. Like he's gonna have the freedom to do that every single team fight.
Pretty much, yeah.
And as you say, insatiable hunger, especially when you got the Daedalus as well. Like, you're going to have some sort of heavy lockdown on him to stop him from right-clicking, but that's pretty kind of the problem with Aurora's draft, right? As long as he's able to keep the Manta cool for something like the Frostbite and the Silences, he's going to be able to attack. He's going to be able to hit you,
I think Jabs is kind of the answer, too, though. He can throw him up in the air, right? Okay. I think that's probably what he's going to have to do in some of these fights once it gets to these later ones with the Insatiable Hunger, but... I
guess there's one thing, though. You can't dispel it, right? No. So you can't take it off with the...
No.
That AoE wind stuff, whatever it is.
But you can just, you hold them up. It's, I mean, the duration is pretty long. Of course, it's like, what, 14 seconds, I believe, when it's maxed or more, so.
Taking the tower. I don't know,
I'm not worried for Aurora. I gotta be honest, I'm a little worried.
We're waiting to see what the plan is from Aurora.
Yeah. Maybe it really is just...
They're getting a bit nervous.
Yeah,
Maybe they're panicking a little bit. They're like, well, let's keep hitting creeps, and let's hope something happens eventually.
This is XGWBG's kind of like specialty, is being able to slow the game to 30 minutes. We've seen a lot of their games where they do get kind of smashed in the first 30, and then they win later on like that. So it does feel like the formula fits theirs.
This game, they're not getting smashed in the first 30 even.
I mean, nothing's happening on. They're all just farming. Kingslayer has BKB. So his BKB is done. How close is Lauren off to his? Getting quite close. And the Radiance is finished up. So, okay. So Radiance, level 12 brew.
BKBs.
Let's see if they do force or if they feel like they can actually just take the scale.
They sure you got to smoke up. You got to imagine. So. You got your BKBs, you got your Radiance. You want to smoke up. You don't want to let this Morph sit back and farm.
Because they even have mech timing on Q too, so they do have quite a bit of things going on together for them, but they do just seem a bit afraid to go for it here. All right, let's see. Do they smoke now?
Got one on Ollie.
Wave is pushing in, so maybe after that one, but.
So did the three of them want to go? No. Okay.
Lornoff's like, I'm so close to BKB.
Oh, that's true. Sorry, yeah, he doesn't. I was assuming but indeed he doesn't. So yeah, okay. Get the Storm BKB, and they'll go. Ready to stack it.
The Yules is finished up. Looks like XGWG going to be the ones to make the first move around this Veil, this pipe. They have a ton of damage, good damage amp as well, too.
Because I feel for them at this point, they're kind of like, well, we're not behind. You guys aren't doing anything, so, well, we'll happily do something. They don't need to involve Arme, of course, for this sort of move. They can absolutely get kills with just the four of them.
Yep, they have Orchid now on Jin Q, too. He's been able to just sit back and finish it up with nothing happening, so.
Yeah.
This can be quite pesky. You know, of course, there's going to be BKBs from these supports, but Brewmaster does not have a BKB, and the two supports can just get caught from an Orchid. The ultis can just get cancelled almost instantly, so...
Well, eyes on King, so it's pretty hard to stop him from getting the BKB off.
I mean, they're going to try to pressure him, though.
Into the vacuum. It's a lot of burst, but indeed the BKB's off, no problem. But
it's a bait, because they didn't use coil. Yep. It's a really good hold there from XM, because now they have the coil for the potential next show of Kingslayer.
Sure. They're just sort of poking, teasing around with them, of course, all while Arme's having a great time farming. Of course, Kingslayer's having a lot of farm upon him as well, but I could only imagine with the draft and approach from Aurora that they probably were hoping that the Brood would be ahead of the Morph, and definitely not level, just at a time as well early as 21 minutes in. And just goes to show how good of a game Arme is having. He's not being pressured at all.
Let's see if they try to sneak the rush. The only scary thing, of course, is that BKB on cooldown from the Broodmother, so there could be potential that XGWBG does come down here. They're not the healthiest. I do see the ET and MK a little bit low.
It's been scanned, so if they do want to make a move, do something about it, they know that they're going to have to do so soon.
They can scout it with the ET Spirit, so they'll see that it's just getting started. They can delay it pretty nicely.
Goodbye, spiders. On there.
And they're starting to rotate over now with everybody. And Brood, how's the BKB? What's the cooldown?
What's the timing?
It's 30 seconds.
Oh, that's a bit scary for Kingslayer.
Definitely. Let's see the angle of approach here from XGWBG. Blink on the puck as well. XM.
And they're bringing Arme this time, right?
He's got BKB as well.
He's strong.
This feels like a tough fight. Let's see if Aurora can execute it.
With a jump forward, Norinoff trying to see if we can get the catch and return onto XM, but XM is able to jump back with the orb. It's very scary now for Aurora. They've got the three of them still under the cover of the smoke.
Kingslayer has his BKB back up, so he is a bit more survivable, but yeah, playing into this Morph BKB now also, who's level 17 at this point. This does feel scary for Aurora. Kingslayer, there's definitely potential for him getting burst before he can get the BKB off too, as we saw before. If the Morph is there when they get the Boundless and all the combo, he could just pop.
XGWBG, they'll succeed in scaring Aurora away from the Roshan pit for now.
When was the last kill? It was 8 minutes ago on the Monkey King.
I mean, how has the game sort of ended up in this state? Because it feels like, you know, with Aurora, with this draft, you can only imagine they were doing this so they could try and get ahead.
I would think so.
It's not like they fed in the lanes, right? There's only 3 kills on XGWBG. XGWBG weren't killing them during the laning phase. So how has the game ended up in this position for them?
They're just out-economying them on XGWBG. And they countered that one gank that came out, and I guess after that, Aurora's like, okay, we don't want to make a gank anymore because they're ready for it, so.
And like, just like that, I feel like pretty much in that last, minute, 2 minutes maybe, you've now got a 2k difference between the 2 carries.
Yeah.
Which wasn't there 2 minutes ago.
No.
Just continuing to show just how much more XGWBG are It feels like they are playing exactly how they planned to play and wanted to go about doing this game. And Aurora, they're kind of in recovery mode, trying to work out how to get themselves out of this tough spot.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels like. I mean, Ame's able to just sit back from. He's almost level 18. Brood only level 15. He's starting to get a big level disparity between that as well. He's got level 3 Morph online, so now he's got that, you know, pretty much constant inside the fights. He actually did go for the Agi talent. I mean, that ones I've seen, of course, different choices from the carry players, but he's gonna have Daedalus very soon too. I don't know. I'm definitely worried for Aurora. Unless they can out-execute inside these team fights, but we'll have to see.
He comes out. Can they do anything about XM? They can't. He's able to freely jump out, so it's just another BKB charge forced out that Aurora's having to use. And of course, for them, any time that the BKB's on cooldown, there's going to be no chance they're going to go looking for a fight. So each of these pokes from XGWBG just securing them more and more comfortable time to continue to get the farm on their carry, Ame.
This really does feel like the dream for Ame and XM. All 3 cores just do feel like they're able to just sit back and finish up these items. Shiva's now finished up for XXS on top of everything else.
This is definitely feeling like one of those games as well, where if Ame doesn't get the win here, then you know he's going to have a hard time convincing his team to let him have the Morphling again.
True.
You know what I mean? If you set up this well. Okay, so they were sort of showing elsewhere on the map and trying to go for Roche.
Sneaking it. He's walking right into them.
Oh,
Kingslayer?
I mean,
he looks very dead. Okay, I was just kidding about the... I was clever, but clever for the Roche attempt, and then I don't know.
It up, he's sneaking the Roche, but then he wasn't sneaking the Roche, I guess, because Roshan was about to get moving up to the other side of the map.
And now they just get a free one.
I mean, was he just not checking the time? I think they're panicking.
Not.
They're panicking.
I think it looks like they're just crumbling, to be honest. Nothing's happening, and it just feels like it's literally in just the absolute best position for XGWBG to just sit back, farm, chill. Ame completely online with the ET Spirit. He's got auras aplenty.
And he's got no excuse. If this morph doesn't carry this game to victory, that's a big uh-oh.
Yeah. But
he's in an amazing spot right now.
He definitely looks like he's in perfect form.
I mean, this morph, it should 100% win this game.
Yeah. Oh, 23. That was...
I mean, he didn't even get that close to killing Roche.
No, not even close. Hey, it was clever, the attempt kind of trying to go up, but then it's, then it just,
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, fizzles out very quickly.
Well, I mean, they don't really have any heroes on Aurora that can build any sort of crazy comeback item.
No.
Right? They've just kind of all missed their timings, it feels.
I think they've missed their time. They've missed their timing. They're just playing into the timings of XGWBG as they're just sitting back, doing whatever they want. Ame near level 20.
I mean, looking back, who was meant to put the pressure on the morph? Was it going to just sort of be this world where Ame struggled a bit more in lane, so he didn't get a quick Manta, and these Orchids would have been online before he had that?
Anybody. They're just not doing anything. Maybe they do just feel that pressured because it is a very good counter initiation draft that XGWBG has, and after that first move failed, they're just like, okay, we're scared to do stuff, but literally nothing is happening, and you're playing into a morph as the game progresses. Jabs.
I mean, is he going to be able to get the split off? It's going to be a lot of damage coming out from Ame.
I don't think so. Even if he gets it off, it's dead.
Yeah. I mean, Loronov's here. He's going to quickly hope that he's not here. Immediate TP retreat from him. Someone was TPing back there. With an ET, I wasn't going to be able to catch him. He gets out. But, it's one of those games.
One of those weird games.
For Aurora.
For Aurora, for sure.
They had a plan. It didn't work, and they didn't have a backup plan.
That's a good way to sum it up. That definitely feels like it. And Ame is getting closer to an MKB as well, to just freely farming. The puck didn't die.
I feel like someone's going to get something like a Hex on Aurora. You know, you got to get this. Yeah, but Loronov's queuing up. You've just got to have some sort of item that can punish a mistake or an overextension from the Morphling. If Ame messes up, dives too deep, and catch him with this Hex, then maybe you get maybe he doesn't have buyback gold. Maybe you're able to kill him, run down a lane, and take everything from them.
I think they've just missed all timings, everything. I mean, yeah, they can go for that Hex, but even then, I don't know. Ame freely hitting these towers, no fear whatsoever.
That's pretty much for his MKB, right? Just 200 gold. He's got MKB Daedalus.
And level 20
minutes in.
He's got the 20 talent as well, too, so just that waveform is just going to be able to smack through people. And he's got some extra evasion, too. There's a Bloodthorn on the Brood, but there's just nothing happening. The gold lead just continues to rise. The experience lead continues to rise. XGWG doing whatever they want.
XXS he's just going to get the BKB next. I think it's, at this point, it's getting to the stage where XGWBG, they're pretty much geared up and ready to end.
Yep.
They get the BKB on the Dark Seer, they run down a lane with this Daedalus MKB Arme Morph.
They're ready for any fight. They even a Bruce Split is just could potentially just die.
Balance Strike comes in. Kisses coming in as well from the side. Arme standing his ground. We'll have to wait for him to the side for now. As Kingslayer's bringing him pretty low, but of course he has got this Aegis Arme, so he doesn't even mind if he goes down to once. He can't even take him down to once. He's still alive. He's shifting into the strength. The Freezing Field comes out. Another Zip Forward from Lorinoff. They take the Aegis out of the hands of Arme. Lorinoff jumps over towards the puck. Xingqiu's laid down the Wukong's commander. Splits there as well. They're trying to look towards the Morphling, but they do not have any sort of damage to take him down a second time. Xingqiu, he's cleaning up the supports himself.
That's the one fight that Aurora was probably looking for about 15 minutes ago, but now that XGWBG have every single timing and an Aegis, Arme just endures through all of it.
Yeah, that's all they were able to get, that Aegis out of him. I think it was getting pretty close to the Aegis coming to an end anyway, so XGWBG, they do not care about that one bit. We'll see on the replay again, yeah, they had, what, minute and a half left on the Aegis, so they don't mind losing it here. They went all in, and yeah, Xingqiu gets this Wukong's command down, and these two poor old supports were caught in by the sleep, the vacuum, the boundless. Not a chance there for Ollie or Q.
No, Jabs barely even gets away too. Lorinoff.
He's BKBing. He really wants this kill. Can he get Xingqiu? He can.
But he might just die. Oh, we'll be able to jump away.
Just enough mana to escape. So he'll live.
They'll hold on for now. But the items just keep flowing in. An Octarine too for the puck. Freest game ever for this puck, feels. Yeah, XM just also. I free the team for all of them on this side.
0 deaths on him, 0 deaths on Arme.
Yep.
Just the one on XXS.
Octarine.
And other than that, you have 3 on both supports, so the support's tanking the hits very well on XGWBG this game.
And what's the next time? What are the next timings? Kingslayer is going for S and Y, but that does not feel like it's...
It's not like
it's
wow.
Not wow or anything. It's just like, okay, I can survive a little bit better, but... The gold lead just massively growing and just rough, for sure. All the rolls get popped and it just does next to nothing versus this Morphling who can just tank through it with insatiable hunger. And now, as you said, BKB on the Darkseer, all their orders at the ready. They're looking to go for this next big fight and potentially close this out.
I mean, I feel like if they were to look back and sort of say, hey, if we want to do this sort of strat sort of play style again on Aurora, what do we need to take away? I feel like the Darks is probably one of the main ones, but just the fact that they had this hero XGWBG that was able to just farm this really quick pipe. You know, anyone that's able to sort of get the quick pipe, and I guess Darks are out the offlaners, regardless of how the lane goes, he's one that's able to farm it the quickest and get it online that early. It just really messes with your approach and sort of where you want to play, right? When you're going for like these double Orchid heroes, Storm mid, that needs to be finding kills.
It probably just is like also they're scared of just this counter initiation draft, but at the same time too, they honestly, they just didn't really do much of anything. They kind of just, they tried one move, it didn't work, and then they just gave up on the moves. He's so tanky on this puck now, can just tank through these.
He's going to have to be BKB and run. Kingslayer's going to try and BKB and stand his ground. Now he's going to go for the TP out. They've got damage to take him down before, they haven't, so both will escape, but it's another BKB and TP from the two of them.
And with that call, could you look to just pressure onto one of these high grounds if they'd like to. Primal Split was also used, I believe, so they used double BKB and their Primal Split pre-fight.
I mean, this could be like one of the games that's won with like the lowest amount of kills on the winning team, at least in this tournament, right?
Probably.
It's getting to the point. XGWBG, they get their next round of items. They're going to pretty much Satanic on Arme. They run down a lane, kill Aurora off once, and then
that's
end
probably
the game.
Yep, very likely, because it's just tough to see how Aurora can really progress too much more in this game unless they get some type of.
Are they going to be careful as well? Because
dream catch on high ground. Their BKBs are still down.
Yeah, 40 seconds still cooldown.
Arme with this fresh Satanic, yeah, they want to at least get a Brax advantage here, or, yeah, like you said, potentially close the game in that next fight.
Kiss is coming out. XM's going to try and jump in and see if we can find him. In fact, Xingqiu will, with a boundless strike, put a stop to the Kisses.
I like this Monkey King versus Snap quite a lot. It makes it, like, impossible for you to really play in the back lines.
They're losing their barracks.
They have no split. They have no BKBs. So they don't want to even attempt for a contest here. Kingslayer just farming on the side of the map because he knows if he shows up, he's just dead. I think we're going to see it. I want to see something completely different. Just different gameplay from Aurora. Like, I'm fine with the draft and everything.
Just get rid of all these heroes. Something completely. They need to distance themselves so much from this draft and from this game. Just don't play any of these heroes next game. Something completely different.
Just something, I think
they're going to want to, because I feel like this game's going to leave a bit of a bad taste in their mouth, right?
No.
This can't feel good to play out.
No.
I mean, play being a bit of a loose term, really, because as you said, nothing's been done.
They got a kill.
Not getting to do much at all.
Their last kill was, yeah, about 16 minutes ago or so, I believe.
There we go, exciting stats there. One Brood Illusion did get fed this game. 5
Very nice.
Crystal Maiden, that's profit.
How many spiders was it again? About 300? It was quite a bit of spiders.
Oh, that was, okay, I was confused then. I was like, hold on, they're on the same team, though, because of the Darkseer Wall Illusion of Brood.
Yes.
You only get 5 gold for those. It's not much, is it?
No.
Is that all levels, this scale up?
I believe that's all levels, yeah.
5 gold. That's good hero, that Darkseer.
Definitely is. Auras are quite good right now. An early pipe is pretty phenomenal, especially when you can just sit back and farm with a stronger scaling core set.
Yeah, I mean, this game is Arme's dream.
He's literally just getting
kind of wondering
creeps.
if he woke up this morning. He's like, I was dreaming about this last night.
Oh, and he has 550 CS, 560.
It's literally his dream game. He's just getting a hit creeps. Nothing bad's coming his way. And as you're right, this has got to be one of the highest CS per minutes we've had.
It feels like it is. Besides one of these, maybe these illusion heroes,
sure.
It's pretty absurd. He almost has 800 GPM. On to the next Rex.
On to the next game.
On to the next game, indeed. No BKB for the Brood. It's got a basher, but can't contribute into this fight. What a weird...
They've got the Hex.
Okay.
So as I said, this is their kind of one chance of maybe doing something crazy. If they can sort of trip up Arme with a Hex, maybe they kill him, maybe they start some sort of insane comeback.
Kingslayer spotted. Kingslayer's dead.
Oh, no buyback for him. 8-7, 35 minutes in. They're taking the base. They're taking a second set of racks here. XGWBG.
On to the next. Ame's just like, okay. Just keep hitting some buildings. Keep hitting some creeps.
He's like, is there any enemy in this game?
Nope. They can't do anything. Well.
Oh. I mean, XTREME, they can't kill him. He's so tanky.
Nope. He can kill them.
Or maybe they can kill him with the Hex. No,
nope.
Just kidding. He's got an E on this. In fact, he just put that together, right? He was holding it disassembled. He's ready to put it together, ready to jump away.
He's just messing with them. Ame's ending the game.
He's ending the game. This might be one of the lowest kills per minute that you get in a game. They're mega creeped. It's literally just 8-7.
No way they
minutes.
Stay in this. Are they? They're not gonna. Okay, I mean they're not gonna call him. I guess maybe they're just discussing stuff. But
if
it's over.
somehow Arme loses this game,
no, there's no way.
There's 0%, 200% win percentage.
It does say 200% actually. 200%. I checked.
There ain't no way. No. This has been. He's got a butterfly as well now.
Butterfly, Gleipnir even on Jin Q. He's even scaled. Yeah, I mean this. Like I said, it's a disaster.
It really is.
So back to the drawing board. Back to drawing board with gameplay. Just overall for Aurora, just something just did not go well, and something got to them. So XGWBG, they got the dream, got to play their farm game to sit back. They'll be able to get another rush and close this game up pretty much whenever they want and how they want. Oh! He almost dies. That was really sub 100 HP.
He didn't have buyback gold either, did he? He did not have buyback gold. That would have been...
That would have been a
way to end this game.
Yes, that would have been the perfect ending.
It would have been a very suitable ending for the game. Just, dead to Tormented, no buyback.
What can you do? Jabs.
Look at the opening. Jabs has got any way to get the silence off. He does not.
Dead.
Okay, well, at least the one thing we can promise you is the game 2 is going to be more exciting than this one. Now, there's no way we get 2 of these back to back. This is a pretty rare sort of anomaly of a game.
Mm-hmm.
At least, I mean, Aurora's definitely going to be hoping that's the case.
Absolutely. And here they go. Learn up.
BKB's pop. Oh, Arme. He's got the Aegis, though. He doesn't care. He's ready to tank all the spells here on the first round. He's going to be ready for round 2.
He's got BKB ready, too. 2 seconds.
There we go. Now he's going to be ready to kill them all. Turns over towards Kingslayer. Kingslayer's going to try and get back towards the fountain. Will get glimmered up. Will survive. Arme turns towards Q instead. Takes out the Snapfire. Xingqiu's able to lay down the Wukong's command. Gets the boundless strike down to the Crystal Maiden, but inside the fountain, Ollie will regen up. He'll survive. Only Q going down here. Xingqiu, he's getting jumped, but he's got backup. He's going to get healed up. The Dream Core's down. Loronoff's dead. No buyback on him. The tier 4s are falling.
Alme's ending.
He's ready to wait.
He's like, I hit my GPM points. Maybe I'll get 1 or 2 more kills. They'll finally call it.
Okay.
And he does get 1 more kill.
Well, that certainly was one of the Dota games of all time.
Absolutely.
And yeah, one that I think Aurora's going to really hope that they never... Ladies and gentlemen, time for game 2 between Aurora Gaming and XGWBG. Let's see if indeed they do have the means to deal with the morphing this time round. And one thing that we can be, well, hopefully sure of, right, in terms of being a closer game overall, is that if the early game doesn't go great for Aurora, they've at least got some options of scaling themselves this time, right?
Absolutely. That's probably why they did go down that route of the Void, which I believe he's been having some success on. And also, this Invoker, I know some teams have not been having the best of times, but a lot have. Across 15 games, it's boasting a 73% win rate, so that's pretty high.
Ones, for a hero that's been picked a considerable amount in this tournament. That's pretty good.
Like when you look at the number-wise, right? It's the... Some of these actually cool because like we've had a couple of these disappear, but yeah, 15 games, 73% win rate. The other ones are Troll, 23 games, 70%, Ember, 40 games, 67%, which is pretty absurd. And then we go to Beastmaster, 66%. So yeah, a high win rate, good scaling hero, and let's see if they can just play better in general, right, from Aurora. I think that's the biggest thing we heard there from Sunby. They got punched in the face a bit, see if they can punch back.
Absolutely. I'll tell you one thing as well about this draft, looking at it right now. In terms of builds for HWBG, you look at Aurora's lineup, they have...
All magic.
You need a pipe.
Oh, yeah.
So
pipe on XXS,
where's that kind of coming in? Very early on in the build? Like, where do you do it on the Pango?
Could be one of those very early items, because I believe what they wanted to do with this Void Spirit pick is having the natural form of initiation coming from the mid laner without needing a Blink Dagger. So I think it could alleviate the Pango to go for that kind of build.
Get it straight up as your first item.
Yeah, I think it could be one of those options. I mean, we'll have to see how his lane in particular goes. It should be pretty okay as this Pango up top with the Monkey King. But yeah, we'll have to see how all this does go down. And see what XM's timing is also, because I'm glad, I think Mira mentioned it at the end there. Aghanims is definitely pretty devastating if this Void Spirit's able to get it at a good time. It's going to be very disruptive versus majority of these heroes. But overall, Lornoff should have a pretty good lane. Especially, we'll have to watch these denies in particular, something I always do like to point out, because that Mastermind gets that 25% XP for every single one of these denies. So if he's able to just dominate lane, get that CS, and make early rotations, that could be a good key to success.
Oh, mate. He's had a bit of a dream game last time with how much space and farm he was able to pick up.
No way he gets that type of dream game this time.
Surely not.
No way.
This has got to be a little bit harder this time around for Arme.
Even the lane in particular. It's a double stun lane with high damage too. The last lane, it ended up being this position quickly where it was just him in a 1v1 versus Brew, and he absolutely free farmed in the lane and as the game progressed. So this one definitely can catch him off guard just with the double stun combo and stuff like that if he's not too careful. So should be able to apply more pressure onto that morph in particular. But let's see how top ends up doing.
Because I imagine what this lane, now that there's a Venomancer in it, it's going to cause Xingqiu to have to be a bit more careful about how he jumps in and tries to initiate, right? Because if he doesn't get on top of them, get the kill at the start, he's going to get completely kited.
Yeah, they can probably kind of just play this one for a farm lane a little bit, because Void it can't pressure too much. Not that easily by any means, of course, versus these two. So I imagine XXS should be able to get some pretty good farm. And he has distancing ability too, so every time a Gale comes out, he can just like reset away. Bottom.
Indeed, they're able to fly in first, but they're DY.
Was that a snipe? Or just a distance jump there from the scatter?
Arme was shifted very low on the strength, so I don't know if maybe Q reached in to try and see if he could snipe Arme, and then obviously paid the price.
Cool, and we did see this time DY does go for that full bore. You know, I was mentioning it last time that they didn't end up going for the full bore. They couldn't pressure the morph as much too. So that could have also been a regret that came out from the snap in the last game. You know, because they went for the ricochet build rather than having the scatter blast to try to go for the snipe kills on the morph and stuff. So see if that makes a bit of a difference as a support.
Xingqiu, he's looking for these couriers.
Oh yeah, this is what he does. He might even jump down, kill it, and jump up.
Just tank the tower hit and take it. Why not?
You've got Mischief as well too, and he's actually accelerated the Ring of Regen this game, because the Tranquils are very common to see on these support monkeys because of the Simeon Stride. He just buys a Ring of Regen right at the start so he can stay high HP, so he can keep jumping and being annoying.
Bottom lane. Arme. His farm hasn't been slowed down so far.
Not so far. And he's just bought a gloves, so maybe feeling like this lane isn't going to be able to pressure me, especially after they do get this first blood down here. Jabs.
Arme's playing aggressive.
Jabs that is not great trades there for Jabs. Takes 300 damage to grab a Lotus there. At least we'll get that Lotus, but XXS, he is having free farm top, so unable to really pressure him. He is going to go down route of Corrosion first, and looks like he's not queuing up at least the pipe, so maybe being able to delay it. So interesting. Maybe it feels like they don't need it.
I mean, it's going to be fun to see him obviously stick with the aggressive play of like orb into Diffusal, but yeah, well, it definitely means that Aurora's... Well, I think...
No way you go Diffusal on this anymore, do you? I mean... Does he?
No, wait, no, he changed. Okay, no, it's a Yashi, yeah.
I was I mean, we did see one. We saw one.
We did see someone still doing Diffusal Pango, didn't we? I think they won, actually. I can't remember if there was no back in the probably playing stage. Someone did.
I can't remember.
Still.
I've seen...
But no, it's going to be Asher.
Yeah, I've seen, like, the the Dispel that they won, of course, too, with the Manta eventually and stuff like that. But also, I personally like the Mage Slayers and these type of builds as well, too. But if he's an off-laner, so that's usually the mid-laner build if you're playing the Pangos, since we saw that from BZM especially. And yeah, all magic damage. Jabs taking a beating again.
Ame's doing great down here. I'm not feeling any sort of pressure,
No pressure.
That's been put on this Morphling.
No, Jabs is struggling. He's gone for 0 points inside that Sandstorm right now. He has a stun and a stinger. I guess they wanted to try to get aggressive for kills with the stun build early, but that means he doesn't have it as Q. Just DP's out. Kingslayer unable to get to that high ground with the time walk. Wouldn't have mattered really anyway unless he got the best RNG possible. And so far in the mid lane, pretty even.
It's pretty even. I mean, across the board, though, definitely a slight lead here for XGWBG. In a game where, I mean, were some of these lanes meant to have gone a lot worse for them with the matchups in mind?
I think bottom is the only one that could maybe have if they catch the Morph just making a mistake or two, but I think he's already past the hardest point now. He's already hit level 4. They got a kill to secure the lane, and now he's going to be able to just farm under his tower, so... Ame now at this point is very happy with these first 5 minutes and could potentially actually get similar to that last time unless they find some type of early rotations. But
I mean, who's on the sort of do something here this game? Is what all eyes on Lauren?
All eyes on
first timing, and he should be running across the map and causing havoc.
Yeah, and Kingslayer might just go down.
Going on the time warp, but indeed Jinkyu's going to be ready to chase. Ooh.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Sometimes you don't have to hit the balances. Just step down and give him a slap, take the kill. Yeah, but wasn't getting any sort of help there. He's kind of been left on his own, Kingslayer.
Yeah, this is a pretty rough start again already. First 5 minutes, and it's just a dominant lead in 2 of these lanes. And it's a Morphling in a dominant lead, which is always a sign for success.
Or missed that Fiesto, Ame.
Sure, he'll miss a couple. Come on, give him a break. But overall, Void can be a bit of a difficult hero in this patch. It is very slow. Morph can show up the fights a lot earlier, so even though they do have wombo combo and stuff like that, if they miss a couple of them, it could be devastating. So yeah, I think eyes on Lorinov to reestablish a bit of this early game with some of his rotations. Let's see how he's going to be able to do, because the Urn, the Vessel build, it's going to be, of course, the standard here coming out from the Invoker, and see if he can find any of these
look at the 20 Kingslayer again. DY's in position. I mean, they have the 4 of them here. TP's are going to be coming in, but Kingslayer, he's absolutely going down again. Lorinov's turned up to the defense, but do they have detection for him? They don't, or if they do, they don't want to try and come out underneath the tower. So Lorinov's going to get a walk away, but that's the second time that Kingslayer's losing his life in that top lane.
Jabs is just getting 1v1 quite easily here so far. Jabs even putting 3 points in the stun, so that Sand Shroud, his Sandstorm, is just not going to be there for him to farm and catch up. This is a killing build that he's gone for. Yeah, you still farm with Stinger, but this is a build that you kind of played to go aggressive, and they haven't been able to find that aggressive route at all.
I mean, very much leaning into, what they, I imagine, wanted to do in terms of what they were going to do differently compared to game 1, right?
Yeah.
Jabs like, we're going to full aggressive, we're going to be fighting. Let's see if they can find that fight. Lorinov's going to be ready to join him down here.
Ame is sitting at half HP or so too, but...
Or... I've been careful.
He's fine. He's got the cookie as well too, so if they do even get a stun, he can reposition him potentially versus some of these other spells that follow up. A 2K lead in the first 7 minutes with a Morphing lineup. Uh-oh.
It does feel like this is so far kind of a continuation of the first game. We're just... It's early, but gotta see something from Aurora.
Let's see if they can catch Ame. Stuns.
The opening, but he's shifting up. They do not have enough damage to kill him off. Boundless comes in from Q. They've got TPs as well.
Here comes XM.
We'll try for a bit of a chase. Q should be quick enough to get out into the trees. Q's going to try and stay on top of him. We'll connect with the Primal Spring, and actually XM, a couple of Astral Step closes the gap. It's going to be XG that ends up getting the killer out of this move. Aurora get nothing.
Tornado just off the mark too. 2 rotations for Lorinov that do not prove to be successful, and for XM, his did work right away. Owen. XXS is absolutely free farming. Kingslayer's level 5.
They have a Rolling Thunder.
Pango.
They can chase him after he time walks with a Rolling Thunder.
We'll dodge it, but he is incredibly dead.
I don't even need the Rolling Thunder.
Oh, this is devastating. I mean, XX build is, I love it. All stat items, early items to pressure, the corrosion, just Void can't move.
Maybe they get Void Spur.
No, he's too tanky.
They're not get Void Spur.
Not even close.
Fine.
Yeah, they need level... Oh, man. I mean, they need level 6 on the Hoodwink to be able to go for that type of kill. A 3K lead already, and they're pressuring towers early on. Uh-oh, and... I don't know if it'll be a repeat of the last one in terms of passive play, because I think XGWBG have a lineup that can play even more aggressive, especially if they get an early advantage like this. This is brutal. All right, Lauren, I mean, probably have to still look to try to make a move, get something done, but he's falling very far behind in levels now at this point in the Invoker, so maybe feeling like he doesn't want to move that much more, except with like a TP rotation. Level 6 is hit for the Void. Veno's got the 6, but Hoodwink not quite yet.
Can they get a kill with the Chrono?
1300 HP Pango, I do not think so. Maybe if Lorinov gets kind of a perfect connection to dispel a shield crash, but if he doesn't, I don't think they kill a core with this. Their damage is quite pathetic early.
All 3 cores of XGWBG having a beautiful start. AURORA.
They're trying. Lorinov's trying to find any moves, but this is also, he's 900 HP on XM, so still not easy at all.
It's very, very easy for him to get away. They don't really have. I mean, how do their heroes go about killing XM? It feels like it is actually going to have to require the Chrono, right? And even then, they're going to have a lot of heroes actually providing enough damage at this stage to kill this Void.
They'll need at least 3 heroes.
Yeah.
In most situations, yeah. Jab's potentially having to be there for the catch as well, too. But XM playing it careful, starting to get more and more of these stat items. As we mentioned, you know, it's going to be the Ags Rush because it feels fantastic this game. It's an early 4K lead for this type of lineup. They're just getting to sit back, free farm, morph under no pressure. And this time around, too, for AURORA, you know, last time I do feel like they had a better way to be able to pressure towers early on. If things did go wrong, they can group up around the Bruce split. This time, they don't pressure towers at all. Jabs.
They're going to have to start running. Kisses are coming in. They jump forward with the burst. Tornado comes out, but it's not going to save Jabs. Ticks out to the Mortimer's Kisses.
Yeah, they're getting punched in the face again, Owen.
They're getting punched in the face harder than Game 1. Like, Game 1 was like a slow kind of wind up into a very slow motion finishing punch. This one's just like quick jab after jab after jab coming in from XGWBG, and AURORA, they're not able to hold up the defense.
They're finding nothing. XM ready to go aggressive. Ali showed himself for a second there, and Ali is dead. Lorinov just has to watch his buddy die. This is...
I mean, if this continues like this is probably going to be one of the roughest series a team's ever gone out of a tournament on.
It does feel like it, yeah. XM, he's got the way to play around it too. Double reset. They're pinging to potentially try to chase, but no way. He's still got the stick. Lorinov again, trying Ghost Walk to find something. But look at his net worth because of it. Lorinov just trying desperately to make moves. I don't believe he's gotten... He's been sitting at 39 last hits for a long time. They're going to go for him again. They find Ame.
There we go. Kill on the board here for AURORA. They bring Ame down. First time this series, right?
First time. Can they transition it into this tower here? They're bringing the Void. Stun off the mark.
Does he want a Chrono for it? Honestly, I would be tempted.
You would be.
Because... I mean, even against XM, I mean, it goes to show you how little damage they feel they can do. You know, they've got the 4 of them there. They're looking at XM, but they still opt against going for a Chrono play because they just feel that they can't kill this Void, even with 4 heroes and a Chrono.
They have 5 heroes down here, and the tower's still alive, and XM's just jumping in.
So he's going to get the grab onto Lorinov.
The roll.
So here's the Chrono. They got the damage. They're going to try and take the Pango out. Bushwhack comes in.
He gets the shield with the tornado.
But the tornado is going to catch on to the 3 of them and will kill them off. Jin-Q now getting focused. AURORA, they'll be able to get a second one. Burrow strike over towards XM. XM, he's running out of mana. He's got no escape. He's surrounded. He'll get a remnant off.
There we go.
But he will also fall. Double kill for Kingslayer. AURORA. They needed that fight more than ever.
Oh, yeah. Great play from Lorinov. Good patience on that tornado. If he does not save it for that dispel there could have been a disaster quickly that ensued afterwards. Nice patience and great chrono. Good coverage there from everybody. Jin-Q gets a beautiful 3-man stun, but there's that tornado to dispel what was a 4-man shield crash, so that shield was going to be enormous. Right when they need it, they strike back.
Definitely something here for AURORA. Their sort of first real signs of life this series so far. It's a good fight, but what can they do with it? They're still behind. They're going to need a lot more of that coming out from them.
And now they have, you know, their lineup is a big cooldown reliant. So with Chrono down for 100 seconds, immediately seeing XGWBG making the move. Lorinov being stalked.
And he's set up. Yeah, Boundless into the remnant control of XM. The damage of the kisses, not a chance for Lorinov, not a chance for anyone that they jump like that.
No.
Very good execution there by Extreme.
And Kingslayer showing himself bottom. They might look to go for a play down here as well. They've got four heroes here, and it's a Wisdom Rune that's about to pop up. So Jin Q is getting in position to steal that one away as well. He's got backup of his team. Watching Kingslayer.
Don't have the kisses, so might be hard to find the damage. They're trying to tease the time walk out of him first. They'll take the wisdom rune.
They don't want to threaten to kill.
Meanwhile, Arme is going to go for the waveform TP, and he's out. Gets away from the attempts of the three of them hunting him down.
It's just so much farm on the 3 cores, and even though Lorinov, he did get that successful kill bottom, he's got his vessel, he's still falling behind. He's still going to look to just constantly play around with the team, though. They feel like they have to, and I would agree that they do have to try to mend the storm and just trying to find some kills. Blink also on jabs. We should have Jin Q.
That's an easy.
Yeah.
At the moment, the supports, they die pretty easily. Aurora can find those opportunities.
But it is just the supports, and as we saw in that last game in particular, that was something that XGWBG was doing a great job of just giving supports in a lot of situations while the Morph sat back and farmed. See if they can turn it into something else here. They still have the Veno smoke, or sorry, they still have jabs running through here with an invis. This could be cool. It could catch Ame.
Ooh, yeah, can he snipe him?
Oh, he's gonna try. The Sunstrike, they got him.
There we go. He wasn't expecting that one. Beautiful stuff there from the invis jabs.
A sentry placed immediately. They probably expected there to be a ward there, but it was just jabs, just with a heads-up play. Doesn't even need that Sunstrike follow-up.
Kingslayer. He's got the Chrono back online. He's going to go for it. There's no Sunstrike available. Oh, there is. Oh, my bad. The cooldown was up. He's ready to drop it, and it's enough.
Got him. There we go.
Burst. This is it. Here we go. Still down 4K gold, but they're making these moves.
It's a great usage of back-to-back Chronos.
Yeah.
Getting some good core kills to catch
back-to-back
this void.
Sunstrikes as well. Pretty much as soon as it was up, he's ready to drop.
Great moves. Love how they're kind of like moving around. They know that last game especially, not a lot happened. They already have the same kills that they had in the last game in the first 15 minutes of this one with these last few moves. Still, Pango, absolutely free farming, and Ame too, but...
He's getting insanely farmed, even with that one death that he had. Hey, he's going to
look at his build. He's going Manta Radiance on this Pango.
Well, I don't know about that one.
He wants to scale. Jump forward.
Okay. Sunstrike comes in, but Disintegrate's there in time. XM's able to dodge it, get out to the side. The Kiss is flying through on towards jabs. They're going to jump into the tree line. XM gets in with the Astral Step. The moment grab will be able to take down jabs. Of course, at the same time, XXS was able to bring down Q. So back to XGWBG getting kills. They should find Ollie TP out. Cookies in to put a stop to it. Stun there from DY, stops his escape. They're back up to growing that lead, 7K advantage.
Definitely a bit of an enthusiastic go onto the Void Spirit. Even though they got him earlier, that was because he was locked down inside these Chronospheres for the most part. So he is very tanky. It is like a 1700 HP hero. Epicenter does not burst as well as it used to. It takes time for these pulses to add up. As not even, barely even half HP there.
No, yeah, XM able to break away from that and also have the luxury of seeing an opportunity to jump back and get kills.
Yeah. They lose 3 for that potential aggressive move there as the Pango shows up, cleans up. He switched the build. I was hoping for it, but it
a little bit wild.
Weird. Yeah. He's going to go back for standard kind of stuff. Just, yeah, blink. That Aghanims just feel like it's a lot better. And Void Spirit, there's that Aghanims online for XM. So he can play even more aggressive now, potentially, versus these 3 cores. It's very strong. And they're going to smoke up off that timing.
XXS is already starting to play here by the looks of it. Or he's forcing a reaction from Aurora.
Jin Q constantly just giving that scout, trying to give XM the opportunity to look for the jump. So Aurora did at least read this play a bit here, top. They're
going to try with the burst. This time, it's not enough. Strength was already built up by Arme. He gets his way out of the combo.
He's now sitting. I imagine after that invis kill, right, he's going to be shifting himself a little bit higher unless he's just straight up in the jungle most situations. So they do have this double stun. They do have that global. But overall, XGWG still in a very comfortable position this game as jabs. Oh, he jumped right into him.
He does. XM finds him. Oh, okay.
Whoopsie.
Nice to get out of that. They weren't able to keep him locked down and caught by the silence.
Okay, happens sometimes. XXS will be just fine. That's a hard kill to get. 2000 HP Pango.
Blink and Manta now.
Yeah. Not an easy one to break down. Also finds himself a specialist array too, even more stats for this Pango, so very durable. Jin-Q has the Orchid now finished up right after this camp, so even more kill threat onto the Sand King and the Void in particular. He's got it quite early this game. And mid, they're looking for the jump. He's got backup though.
They're going to be a bit careful about this. They'll get him with the spring, but with Laurenoff and Ollie behind him, they can turn and kill Jin-Q down. I mean, you can see Jin-Q was kind of hesitating. He was like, do I really want to go on with the follow-up onto this? He opted to do so, but I think he knew what was coming.
Yeah, good positioning there. And that will be Laurenoff securing the last hit, so Midas is picked up, so he will be able to get that scaling. As we said from the beginning of this one, they do have a lineup that can actually scale this time around. It just isn't going to be enough to be able to scale versus this Tricore that is very strong as well on the side of XGWBG.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of weight on the Chronos to be pretty big from Kingslayer.
I say Tricore, it's actually kind of a quad core, because you do have to always remember, Monkey King also, that, it's going to be an Orchid into Gleipnir build, so Kingslayer.
Going with the setup. Rolling Thunder to start things, and a beautiful follow-up there from XM. They keep Kingslayer completely locked down. XM is going to get trapped to the side, but they already got what they came for. They got the big kill, they got the Void. They're going to try and see if they can get more as XM jumps forward. Boundless strike down. Is the Remnant also able to grab back Q? They've taken the jabs out.
And maybe another. They want to try.
The Cookie, I mean, XXS, he is able to jump forward with the shield crash. They'll keep chasing them up towards the tier 3. Xingju's tempted.
They're the base.
I mean, this is quite a bit of a dive.
Under tier 4s.
Okay.
He's in.
I mean, he gets it.
Oh my goodness.
He might get more. They get the Remnant onto the Invoker. They're going to try for Laurenoff. They're under the tier 4s. What's going on?
They're killing him in the base.
Oh, dear.
Ultra kill.
Get the
Give him the Rampage
oh,
in the base.
If he gets the Rampage, do it.
The Rampage. It catches.
Oh, he's got the Ray. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. Oh,
XXS,
my goodness.
how dare
XXS, you're off the squad.
He pinged him. XM pinged him instantly.
Get him off the squad. Pause on him. Pause the game right now. I would be fuming.
Kingslayer, can he get the Chrono? Can he catch XM? He might be able to. Gets the silence though. They're turning.
Can he get Rampage from this?
It's too late now.
Is it too late?
Kingslayer.
Oh, the game has just gone into complete chaos now. Jabs has jumped in with an epicenter as well that's done absolutely nothing.
No, full panic for Aurora. Being dove in their base, they don't know how to react. An ultra. It was a rampage. It was a rampage. He deserves it.
That was just rude from XXS.
He had
this
a grin.
Pangolier. XM is not going to be happy with him.
That was insane.
Yep.
Diving
tier 4s.
Tier 4s.
What the?
Well, they know their strength, and they seize that opportunity quickly here.
Yeah, they really sort of sent a message there to Aurora. Aurora, they might have won like a kind of earlier team fight down bottom and got something out of it, but that was really actually WBG saying,
that didn't matter.
You thought you guys had a chance now. This game's completely under our control. We can dive tier 4s. We can get away with it. What are you going to do?
Massive. 11k lead. Now Lincoln's on the morph too, so unable to really bring down and chain stun him either now versus this Sand King stun is always going to get blocked. That was one of the cooler dives. I haven't seen teams dive tier 4s like that, except for, I believe, some of the Falcons ones, but that was wild.
That's how far ahead they feel that they are right now. And looks to be that they're absolutely right. 11k lead. 17-9, 22 minutes in. Arme, of course, continues to have a lovely time, whilst the rest of his team has been doing a bit of diving.
It feels like for Aurora at this point, throw out quite a few of these like normal things of Dota, and you just have to play to farm and hope that you can somehow scale, because this mid game is just rough to be able to fight back now at this point. You need more items, especially on 23 on Kingslayer. He's had a couple, those 2 decent Chronos so far. Now at this point, it's going to be tough to see how they bring down some of these targets, especially when they force Roche. Put an Aegis on one of these cores. And soon definitely going to see Jin-Q surpass some of these other cores on the opposing side. Could see the same, of course, from the Hoodwink. Q definitely has the potential to get this scaling on the hood on him, but definitely not an easy one. Hitting all these timings, even faster than I think that they expected to in this game.
I mean, now that the Aegis is out in Arme, if you're Aurora, do you wait the Aegis out? Or is that just going to be too long? You're going to fall even further behind, and you do have to try and risk taking a fight into the Aegis.
You probably need to do some type of risky stuff or catch people away from him, but the problem is, Kingslayer versus Orchid.
He's setting it up. The kisses are coming in. Kingslayer dead. They're not even going to have the luxury of a Chronosphere to fight around for the next 45 seconds. He's gone.
No, the game is completely fallen out of control. Well, if they even had any control of it at all, which they didn't really.
It was just relative to what we saw from them from last game. it was a big improvement. The problem is the big improvement, it's nowhere near enough of an improvement to take down XGWBG by the looks of it.
No, not with this first two Morphling, who did not... they did get what? They did get 2 of the kills on him, but he still has some absurd farm.
Yeah,
top net worth.
Probably close to the levels that he was getting at this stage in the last game as well.
But it's all just faster, right? Yeah, he has 644 GPM. So last one I think he broke the 800, but he was literally uncontested. And they're just going to poke high ground.
They're hitting the base, 24 minutes in.
They poke, they force 5 heroes back, they reset, they're going to be able to farm push these lanes out, get these next round of items. Aghanim's done for XXS. Manta also on XM, so they've got the dispels and everything. Aurora, they're going to smoke to try to catch them split up. They have to do desperate stuff.
Sure that there's an Aegis on the Morph, it doesn't matter, they have to go now. They can't wait out this Aegis, because they wait 3 minutes more, the whole of XGWBG is going to get themselves another item ahead of Aurora, so they got to take a risky fight.
Yeah, they don't have many options in this game anyway, so they just have to do some kind of crazy stuff to try to hope that they can break XGWBG's clean gameplay so far. But they see nobody in the mid lane. Just some Forge Spirits. XM waiting on the high ground here. And they're all playing together, so all of XGWBG are here for the fight.
Uh-oh. It's got to be a crazy Chrono from Kingslayer that's going to stand a chance to Aurora taking this team fight. Arme's walking in.
No fear on him.
Right there. The Linkers to get him with the Burrow Strike's done as well. Some tried to come in. They're able to burst him the once. At the same time, the rest of XG's ready to bring the fight to them. They're coming with the Rolling Thunder. They're taking jabs out. They get the jump over towards the Venomancer as Ollie gets burst.
It's all a bait.
One off on the tube. They've got any further detection for him here. Doesn't look like they do quite on the front lines of XXS. So Loronoff's going to get out, but that was Aurora looking for a fight and subsequently losing it. They lose the 2 heroes. They don't take anything other than the Aegis. They do get the Aegis, but they were hoping for so much more than that. And they needed so much more than that.
Yeah, and they're hoping to try to be able to reset for jabs, but he has a Blink and a Shivas, no Force Staffs to be able to potentially save him. So now onto that high ground. Glyph is popped, but Ame standing his ground. Shifted up a little bit more too. He's sitting at 2.2k HP, so not going to get popped by any means. And this tower, it's going down.
That's super fast stuff here from Extreme. They're realizing they can force the issue just 26 minutes in.
Just sending the illusions up there now. They'll back up now that everybody is respawning. They'll still give respect, of course, to Aurora for now, but they're just controlling the map.
All daedalus on armor. Jabs. He's going in with the epicenter. Will find himself. Oh, surely. Yeah, surely. They will. Will find themselves the kill on DY there. Not quite able to get away from it. Epicenter and a Sunstrike. That will do it. But again, it's just what a support going down. And 3 cores of Extreme continue to have a beautiful game. Arme at the moment nearly about 7,000 gold ahead of anyone on the side of Aurora.
You got to take what you can get at this point from Jabs. Don't blame him for just apping there.
That's something, but...
It's something, but it doesn't change anything, really.
No.
Just gives him a little bit of gold, which doesn't change too much for him in particular. Jin-Q.
Oh, they get the jump in.
Still jump away.
He will indeed.
Tornado.
Oh, he dodges it. He gets away from it all.
3 heroes chasing him.
Coming in. XM's ready to jump back in on them. He's going to get it on towards Q. I mean, Loronoff and Jabs, they're teeping away. Q will survive. Well, I say for now.
Nope.
Q, he's back in. With the Boundless, puts a stop to the TP out from Q.
Jin-Q, the Monkey King. He is very annoying on this hero, and he was one of the first ones, even before, of course, the Simeon Stride for the support, that he was very pesky on it, proving to other teams that perhaps you do have to get rid of him, because he's done a lot of scouting. He is very annoying with how he's been giving information for his team to get all those jumps, and he's survived now a couple times when he shouldn't have, and also he's tanked quite a bit of ganks, too, because he has those 4 deaths, kind of half the deaths for the team that this 4 Monkey's been able to provide. Looks like they want to swing. They want to contest for... It looks like the Tormentor potentially here when it does come back. They're swinging over for that. It's also the Wisdom Rune timing that did come up. Kingslayer is over here farming. They might be able to find him. He has a BKB. But could get chain stun. Jin-Q is scouted. He'll be able to reset away. Now he has his farming item too, so he's got his Maelstrom. We'll be able to build toward that Gleipnir as well too, which is very nice versus all 3 cores. Loronoff, he's it's like desperate mode when you see this. It's not a thing that you do too often, but because they have the Void, you go the Aghanims. It's like the only time you go Aghanims on Invoker. Still doesn't have the max Exort, so it won't have as much damage, of course, but trying to get that 5-man chrono that are all stacked on top of each other with the Cataclysm. It feels like it's necessary for them.
See what Kingslayer can do.
Don't know if XGWBG is going to ever give that type of opportunity now with these heroes.
They've got all 3 cores, and one of the supports just extremely mobile, so there's never really any excuse for them needing to be on top of each other. They can all kind of jump in and out of the fight independently.
Yeah, nowadays also Cataclysm, even though it's, if you land like the multis and stuff like that, it's strong. The only sad thing is, of course, with the new Exort, it's based off of when you hit them as well too. So the spell lamp, you know, it doesn't do anything. There's no spell lamp, pretty much. He does at least have, you know, some stuns to be able to get them, but it needs to catch so many, and they are quite tanky at this point. So these heroes all have like 3,000, you know, 2,000, 3,000 HP. So even if they do catch maybe even 3 or something, it might not be enough with the Kata. And it's still not max Exort. And the game just continues to be more and more scaling for this Morphling. Just watching his GPM go up and up. He's up to the 717 again, getting close to that 800.
Definitely seems like this is actually going to be one of the easier series for Arme on his Morph. You know, getting 2 back-to-back Morph games like this.
And this is an elimination one too, so a key definitely will be crushed after this one, of course. As they know that they can just kind of chill, wait for the next items. Aurora not scaling nearly as hard. Everyone on XGWBG just getting so much more. 21,000 gold lead.
Yeah, literally sort of the same proportions of the lead as we had in that last game. There's been more kills this time around, quite a few more. But it hasn't really changed the way that the overall game has been going.
Nope. Oh, man. I'm just watching that GPM go up, 736 now. Just continues to rise, and Aurora unable to find anyone, unable to find anything to capitalize as Roche. It'll be pretty much instant. It's a 4-second spawn. Bottom. To see Aurora set up in the area for it, but they don't really bring it down at the fastest pace.
No, they really don't.
XGWBG will definitely be able to react to that one. I imagine they're also going to look to probably make their way down there. They've shoved top all the way out so that they can start shifting to prepare for that Roshan as well if they'd like to. The next time almost with a Lincoln, so double Lincolns is going to be finished up for these 2 cores. So that Sand King stun definitely not going to be as threatening as maybe it was a little bit in the earlier times. They'll have more than enough protection for it. And they're going to smoke. A Basher also finished up on XXS. So these BKBs won't save you. Can't BKB TP out versus this Pango. And here's the Satanic too. So
this bottom lane.
Potentially the last fight right here.
Aurora. What can they do? Xingju's going to start scouting things out. They get the jump onto Xingju. They'll look to quickly punish the Monkey King. They'll get him. Xingju to fall.
Instant BKB from Kingslayer, though. He's terrified. He just has to run now. And that means they probably just have to forfeit a Roche if XGWBG wants to waltz into it.
Yeah, I mean, they'll trade a Monkey King's life for that anytime.
They probably will
charge out and getting the freedom to do Roche.
They might just look to contest it anyway, because they kind of probably feel like they have to, but it's not going to be an easy fight around this area.
They still have Chrono, but as you say, no BKB on the Void.
Nope. And we do see right there, DY is putting down wards to scout them, so he already sees jabs coming in, and XM's going to make the jump.
They do. They go straight away for the Sand King. They close the gap, and the Kisses damage coming in. Jabs, he's trying to get out with the Burrow Strike, but he will not escape. Ollie gets caught by the Astral Step. The 2 of them are gone.
Kingslayer.
It's got to be full retreat now. Kingslayer's going to try and jump
away
with the Time Warp, but indeed he's caught here. He has to use the Chrono. And against this Morph with that much strength shifted up on Arme, they're not killing him. The Cataclysm comes in.
He was stunned during it.
But yes, and that might be that.
That might be it.
Kingslayer is struggling, he's panicking. Jumps back in and out.
They knew.
The river. But he is dead. Triple kill for XXS. They have buybacks. They can keep playing on in this game, and they will, because of course this is their elimination game. They lose this game, Aurora, they are out of the tournament.
They can. XGWG's just playing it very methodically. They set up the wards. They know they're coming. It's not a smoke that Aurora had to be able to go to try to contest that one there, and the fight is completely smashed. Invoker control during the chrono. Can't even attempt for a Kata to try to bring down Ame even. As to the high ground they grow, Ame will be able to finish off this Rax easily. And yeah, 35 seconds to the Void, and even then, no chrono, no Kata available.
Mid-Rax. Very likely to be taken. Let's see if they can stick around for more here. Extreme WBG.
Oh yeah, they're sticking around. No chrono.
Oh, XM. Right, XM's in. So look at the grab on towards the Venom. Jabs, he's revving up the epicenter from the side. He's going to jump in. It's onto the illusions though, and the astral step from XM's already out. They're not able to catch anyone in the combo.
And Ame's just in.
He's ready to go for Jabs. Straight in he goes. Takes the Sand King out there. Our buybacks available. Jabs will buy back immediately. Veno to fall. Ollie, he also has buyback if he wants to drop it here to try and put together one final attempt of a team fight, because they're losing the second set of barracks. Another jump in. XM, he's got the grab onto the Void. They got the stump follow-up. He's gone.
Beautiful play from Ame.
And he does not have buyback Kings there. The kiss is coming and killing them off in the fountain. XM starting a bit of the old fountain diving against Aurora.
Styling on him. After diving the tier 4s early in the game, Kata.
Cataclysm, not enough.
That does nothing.
Not nearly enough. Yeah, barely did anything at all. And now with the jump back, Seal crash into the bashes coming out from the Pangolier. They've caught Jabs. He's out for good. No buyback available on him. Out for 90 seconds now. And they're ready to end the game. They're ready to continue going on in this tournament. And with that, XGWGB will be knocking Aurora Gaming out. And as I say, this is definitely one of the roughest series that a team's been knocked out.